Right, I've got to say that in all the times I've been in this wood, I've never seen so many fallen trees, which is actually quite terrifying, because when these trees are in, they look solid, but because the ground is so damp, you can see the size of them. If they land on you, you're dead. The chance of survival is very thin, which is one of the reasons why I stopped camping in this wood. Apart from the fact it's got a weird feeling in it. So, if you know where I am, I strongly disencourage you from camping in this wood, because it is dangerous, and I'm pushing my luck a bit by camping in here today. So don't camp in this wood, because the trees are falling down at an alarming rate, so heed that advice. Trying to stow this little deer, but it knows I'm about, so I'm really struggling to get closer to it than this. So what I'm trying to do now is just basically sit absolutely stock still for 10, 20 minutes, even maybe half an hour, so the little deer know things have gone, and then I'll get a nice camera shot. I've seen a lot of books, or a lot of hunting experts. Once you've startled the animal, you've got to stop and sit still. Could be even for an hour or so. And then the animal stops being alert and gets docile again, or less alert. So there's more chance you can sneak up on the animal. So I'm going to be really quiet for another 5 or 10 minutes, and I'm going to hopefully get a really good shot of this little deer, a little doe, whichever one it is. So that's something I've learned from YouTube, hunters, and a few books around about. Patience is your best friend. Trying to get a picture or trying to get the kill. Hi everybody, I am Gavin and this is the British Bookworm. So if you're new to my channel, this is a series of me practicing bushcraft from the books that I've studied or are currently studying and reading ongoing. So this mainly is a channel for bookworm lovers or people who like thinking and talking about things all book related. So I'm in the woods and I've had a look round in this wood, as you've probably seen on some of the starting video, some of the clips I've just taken. There's so many trees coming down in this wood that it's just not a safe wood to camp. So rather than move on to somewhere else or find another location, what I'm going to do is, using again the knowledge from some of the books that I've read, is I'm coming to the windside part of the woods. So in SAS Lofty Wiseman's book, it talks about don't go into the wood too deep, so you can see outside of the wood if you need to escape, for escape and evasion for the military. You can see people approaching you from a long way away. You can escape over the wall or out of the wood if someone's coming through the wood, or you can go into the wood if you need to hide further deeper into the wood. But if you're in the wood, you can't see people coming from outside of the wood too well, especially if you go deep into the wood. Secondly, is that if you are on the windside swept part of the wood, the roots of the trees are going to be far stronger than the trees further in the wood that haven't had to fight and put the roots in deep into the earth to stabilize themselves against the wind. So the trees that are far less likely to fall are the ones that are most exposed to the wind. And possibly we'll be able to find some of that in whichever book I've found that out from, but I'll have a look for you anyway. So I'm going to try and camp here where I am now, even though I'm not too. I don't like wasps, hate them. So this is the best location, having walked around the wood and done a bit of deer hunting, doe hunting. Anyway, I'm going to put my camp up here possibly. Depends though. It depends. I'm going to sit here and see how I feel. So that's the plan. Right guys, so today I'm excited because I've got a new addition, another new addition out of my meagre wage. But I've bought a DD tarp which I used last time, which was absolutely superb, and I cannot recommend this one enough. Compared to my first Bushcraft 001 video, you'll see it leaked in because it wasn't really big enough, although I didn't set it up very well, as I admitted later. But this is exceptional, this tarp. I'm happy with the bigger one. There's like a super light one that I've seen reviewed on YouTube, and I'm very happy with this one. But my new addition is this bad boy, which the reviews on it are absolutely fantastic from guys who've camped up in Scotland using the Corinthian 4. So it took me a good few months before I worked out which sleeping bag I was going to buy. It is a weighty bag. You know, my load out today again was very, very heavy, but I know for a fact, based on all the reviews, that this is going to be really warm. With my underquilt set up here, got my underquilt, can you see that? I've got my underquilt set up, and this, and I've got a new addition of a pillow, which I mentioned in my other videos. You can see I'm getting a bit more serious about my YouTube videos. I cannot wait to use this. I'm going to set my tarp up now because it's starting to spit, and I feel quite confident where I am is a good location after a bit of doubt. So now I'm going to set up my tarp because it's starting to spit. Right, so everybody, an update. I've got my shelter ready, my sleeping bag's inside it. The wind's blowing through a little bit. Because I wasn't too exact about where I set it up today. When you pitch camp, you should always check the wind direction thoroughly. But because of the wall and because of kind of like the way the land's laid out, I feel like I should be okay. The way I've done my trucker's hitch, I have got not enough room for my prusik knot to go down, which is a common mistake. So I can't hitch this up even though it's tight, and I don't think I'm going to need to really do all. What I was thinking about doing is though get a bit more cordage and tying it around and notching it up on the tree. You can see the wind is picking up. I'm hoping it's going to be alright here. I mean, I've used my knowledge to park myself where I think is the best place in the wood, even though it's on the wind side. Like I said, there's no way I'm camping in that wood tonight when there's literally so many trees have fallen since I was last here. I can't explain to you how many trees. There must be over 100 trees that have fallen, which were not down last time I was in here. So I'm going to get some firewood together because I don't have my camp stove. I need to get a good fire going before I can eat today. And I have 2 books which I plan to read. As for projects, the trees in here aren't very good wood for projects, but I am going to look at something on the lines of the books that I've been reading to show you at home. So I'm in my shelter. I'm going to blow my pillow up. I've got a ground sheet set up this time like I suggested in Bushcraft 004. You should have one of these as a default. It's not pegged down, which would be better, but I didn't bring any pegs for it. But I can just basically put my feet on here at night without getting cold getting out of the tarp. I can put things in it like wood from over there and drag it back to the campsite. I could use this as an emergency shelter if I wanted to. There's so many things you can do with a bit of tarp material. I've cleaned out all the branches and trees as roughly inside the shelter, so it's a bit more comfortable and cozy when I'm moving around. Just scraped it all out, and it looks like I might be running out of memory on my phone, so I need to check that, which would be really frustrating considering the size of my phone I've got. So yeah, that's the plan, people. Well, good. Right, so I'm building a fire to do the cooking now. I've cleared around the ground so that it doesn't catch fire by accident, and I'm using stone around the fire to limit the fire from growing. So I keep it inside in that little stone circle so it will be in control. If you don't have a fire around a stone, or inside, or rather inside a stone fireplace, or inside some form of barrier, what you'll find is that your fire will naturally get too big, or you'll make it bigger because you'll put big pieces of wood on, and it will naturally grow outside of your perimeter, the idea of your perimeter. So stone perimeter, or digging in the ground a little bit, a little berm like I did in 004 and 003 Bushcraft, really gives you a good fire control. And obviously we want to be really sensible with the fire, so we've got plenty of water to douse it out if we need to. Obviously that's an ideal situation. You're not going to use survival drinking water to put your fire out in a survival situation, but it's good to have some spare just to put the fire out if you lose control of it, or when you go. That's a really important tip. Raymond Mears teaches. I think it is in his the first book he published, or one of the first books he published, but he also does talk about that in his videos, or on his YouTube channel. So I hope that is useful for you watching this at home. So if you're new to Bushcraft or this video, going off what I've already shown in the previous Bushcraft videos, I'm laying down a foundation of wood as my base, and this is what we call the backstop in the Bushcraft kit. This is called the backstop, and this is going to eventually set alight once I have my main fire burning, and that's going to create my embers for cooking, and also protect the tinder and kindling from the damp floor, so it allows you to get the fire going more efficiently. So if you're new to Bushcraft, that's what I'm doing now. So it's like 5 o'clock now, and I need to really start cracking on. I'm getting what I called last time in one of my Bushcraft videos, I can't remember which one it was, something called the faggots. So traditionally English woodsmen would gather 2 of these, or maybe even 4 of these little branch collections together, tie some grass around them so they tie, and he would carry them round. So when they pitch camp, they have 3 or 4 of these ready to go. Now, one thing that I've improved on in today's camping trip, and one thing I did stress on another video, and from my experience over the years lighting fires, is you can't rush lighting fires. These sticks need to be tiny. They need to be smaller than a matchstick that you would use to light a gas stove at home. They have to be really small. If you gather a load of these together and spread them out, they'll catch fire really easily if they are thin. Once you get a little bit thicker, so say the size of a matchstick, it takes a lot more heat to get them going. So, and another thing is, you never bunch them together. Even though you carry them like that, you want to spread them out over the source of the heat. Because if they're too, if they just like that, which you know, if you tie them up like that and just chuck them on the flame, some of them might catch, but because of the lack of oxygen in the middle, it won't catch very well. So you need to open them up and spread them out. But that's the main thing I want to tell you today about lighting fires, is how thin these sticks need to be. They need to be really small, no matter what kind of wood you're using, and it just makes lighting the fire much easier. So I think if you pick up anything in this bushcraft video today as something that I've learned that you can learn off me if you didn't know it already, is that one. Okay, I got to stop doing that because it's well annoying. So like, cut, 3, 2, 1, cut. Yeah. So I've spent about an hour now looking round for some fat wood, fire stick wood. It's I've done quite well, which is taking me a long time to go around this wood and find some, which has been really frustrating because, as you know, I've been out 5 times now and I've been struggling to get any. And this is like one of the most important things to look for to light a fire with your ferrocerium rod or a spark. But even though it's taking like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, they still aren't the best quality. But I'm going to try and do something with that now and light a fire. I'm going to set off back now to my base, my shelter, and basically get some food on and then look at going to bed. Right, I've got my fat wood, which I'm not using yet. I'm going to try that tomorrow. But what I'm going to do today is going off the book, the Bushcraft grid. My lovely girlfriend has been collecting lint from the dryer for months. Bless her, she's such a trooper. But she's got quite a lot in there. Now this is more like a flash tinder, but David Politis from Missing 411 and many others, but he talks about it on one of his videos. But also it's from the Bushcraft Kid book, one of the quick fire starter techniques. So I need to get some food on and I need a fire. So rather than shaving off the fat wood off these, which looks quite decent, but I'm not doing that. I'm going to do that tomorrow. I'm going to try this for the first time with some grass that I collected earlier and get my Twiglet 6 alight hopefully. So that's the plan, everybody. Sitting at home, watching this in your comfort of your home, thinking, why would you bother? Why would you bother? Grass, lint, grass, twiglets, and then the big fire. And then I'm going to rush round and get some proper firewood for the rest of the evening. But I'm not going to have a fire tonight. I'm just going to snuggle up and read when it gets dark and just enjoy the experience. So that's the plan. Right, the question is, how much of this lint do I use? Because it's a flash tinder, that's the question. So I'm gonna get half of it out. Never used it before. I'm gonna get half of it out. Like that. Yeah, so David Polites, I never know how to say his name exactly, but I'm a huge fan of his work, his books, and Missing 411 and all the So I'm going to get that going, and then I'm going to get the grass going, like I just said, and then I'm going to get the twiglets going. So I'm doing it in that order. Hopefully this is going to work. Bear in mind, I've never done it before, so I've got my fantastic scraper. Are you ready? Are you ready? I don't know if I've got a good angle, but my tripod's not the best. Right, we're off. Are we off? We're not off. We're not off. Let's try it again, everybody. Right, we're off. We're off. We're off, we're off, 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 we're off. Can it go? Am I doing it? Am I doing it? You lot at home? Have I got my fire going just like that? Is it going to be as easy as that? Spreading it out. I'm spreading them out. Yeah. 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 It's on. It's on. So that's how fantastic when you get your kit right. And that binite, whatever they call them, ferrocene rods are freaking awesome. So I'm spreading that out. That is how you light a fire. Tiny, tiny sticks. Tiny, tiny sticks. Remember what I said earlier on, get the tiniest sticks going, and then you're going to get a fire going, I promise you. But that, I am well happy with that. Lint. Thanks David from 411 and David Bushcraft Kid. Cheers. Cheers, guys. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Costa sachet, that is absolutely amazing. Oh, that is delicious. That is absolutely delicious. So I'm doing, I think it's called the Indian fire. So you get large pieces and put them in basically across the fire and feed it in. So rather than having to go and get tiny branches all night, hopefully you get some big logs and they'll last for hours rather than going through loads of little sticks. So it's supposed to be very efficient and productive way of keeping your fire burning all night. But we'll see, because this wood from the spruce class of tree in this wood burns really fast. It's actually proper frustrating, which is why you can see that lots of survival experts like David Canterbury talk about mixing your woods so that you've got like evergreen ones and indigenous trees like oak and willow rather than the spruce trees, because you go through a lot of fuel with spruce. Anyway, I'm going to get 2 more big pieces and then I'm going to absolutely definitely get into the sack. Right, it is time for bed. Good morning. So I had a good night's sleep last night. I realised later in the night that my head end of my hammock was too high up when I was sliding down, which was really annoying. So I eventually had to get up and drop my head side part of the hammock down, which made a big difference. But then I couldn't get in the sleeping bag at one point, and it was doing my head in because I couldn't get the head bit over my head. And then I realised it was underneath my back, the excess to get underneath me. So that took me about 20 minutes to work it out in the dark. And then at one point the zip on my new sleeping bag seemed to have got stuck when it was shut. So I had a little bit of a panic attack then, because I thought, how am I going to get out of this if my zip's broken and I can't get out, because I have no knife on me to cut my way out, because I took my knives out and everything. I emptied all my pockets. So I had a bit of a panic attack because I literally couldn't get out of the sleeping bag for about 10 minutes. So that was funny. And then when I went for a wee last night, this forest was really dark, and I mean like dark. Wow, last night was really dark. I don't think I've been in any forest yet that was so dark. So that was funny. That was funny. I have progressed now from the wood I was in Bushcraft 1 and 4 to 4, and now I'm in this wood which is a little bit more intimidating. I've slept in this wood on my own before, and I've been in this wood with a couple of friends as well, but this wood is more intimidating than the other wood, which is quite a bit smaller. But
I've done that on purpose. I've progressed to a next stage where I'm in a bigger tree, bigger wood, bigger forest. So if you're following me, that's the plan. That was the plan all along, was to get more comfortable on my own. When I looked outside last night, went out for a wee, and I went with my air torch on, and I had a very light beam on. I looked round and was like, whoa, this is so dark in here. I mean, wow, that was a little bit intimidating. But I've had another night's sleep. I feel fresh, and I've had a full night's sleep. So it's 8:30. It's 8:30. Excuse me. And I need to decide the plans. I'm going to read my books. And then I might do some bushcraft stuff. That's the plan. So I don't want to do too many talky bits, as I've probably got enough on this video or these clips already. But I've just done like a scout in this wood, a bit like from end to end, and honestly I'm really sad. I'm angry and really sad at the same time. I don't know how anyone would want to camp in this wood and just leave so much rubbish and shit around, and it's really affected me actually, and really upset me today. You know, I come in this wood to get a bit of solace, a bit of peace, a feeling of a bit of nature. I'm in the woods in the UK. We don't have many forests. They are littered all over. There's a lot, but they're only like little sporadic ones, and most of them on private property. So you come and savour the experience of what it might be like to be in America, where you just have millions of acres of wood, and you try and experience as much as you can the beautiful forest. We do have some nice woods in the UK, don't get me wrong, but the ones near me at the moment that I'm going to are small or smallish, like 5 to 10 football pitches size. Some are bigger, some are a lot bigger. But to come in here and see so much litter, just not even like accidentally left, just literally quilts and bottles and cups and fire rings, it really has pissed me off. What's up with you people? How can you come into such a beautiful place and destroy it and leave your shit lying around? A sleeping mat. If it wasn't a good sleeping mat, you just left it in the woods. Absolutely disgusting. I can't believe it. You have no right to come in this wood if you aren't going to treat it with respect and reverence and love. I'm really upset. But it's been good to walk around and get the wood a bit more, get the wood in my head and a bit more of a feel in it. But so many people have camped in here since I last camped in here, and it really has upset me. People who even doing a bit of bushcraft have just left their shit there. You just don't do it. You do not leave your shit lying around in the wood. You wouldn't leave all that shit lying around in your own house. So why would you leave it lying out in the beautiful trees and woods of nature, and glass leaving lying around for deer to walk over and hurt themselves or cut themselves? Really, really pissed off. So I'm going to try and make a fire out of the flat wood that I found.
Good vein there. So I've used my fat wood, which is the first time I've really done this, and hopefully this is going to be decent enough fat wood. And I'm going to try and use the ferrocerium rod to get this pile of shavings alight, but I've never done this before, so this is going to be an interesting attempt. So that clearly isn't working. That fat wood clearly is, this fat wood is absolutely useless, so I won't be trying that again. I have no idea why it won't light with a lighter even. I've just no idea. It's well annoying. So because I'm getting a little bit cheesed off now, you can buy these on Amazon. They protect your big lighter. I'll put a link on there. Really, they're really good. They keep your lighter waterproof. But that fat wood's just rubbish. I don't know what. If anybody knows watching this video what I'm doing wrong, I've tried the lighter and I've tried the ferrocerium rod, and it's just not catching. And it seemed like fat wood, but it just doesn't seem to be working. So what I'm going to do is use a tape on here to get a fire going, because I'm getting a bit cheesed off now. At least get some of it going. So that's a tip for you, is take some Gorilla Tape with you when you go camping, because it'll help you light a fire. So that's my plan next. Wow, that's amazing. So it started to rain as I'm packing up, so I'm just taking all my kit down. Haven't done as much bushcraft stuff at all really that I wanted to do today. I tried the fat wood, in summary, I tried the fat wood which didn't work, so I've done a bit of, what have I done bushcraft wise? I've done the Indian fire, which I mentioned earlier, which I think is going to be my go-to fire in the future. Because you just don't need to mess about once you've got those big logs in a star shape on the fire. It's a lot easier to just chill out without having to worry about getting all kinds of bits and pieces. Thankfully I haven't taken my tarp down yet because it started to chuck it down on me just as I'm packing up. But I am going to call it a day today. I've not done as much bushcraft stuff as I've just said already, but it's been fun. I've enjoyed being in a new location, even though it's been disappointing to see how much rubbish people have left who are going camping. Very upset me, it's upset me that. And I'm going to pack my bag and I'm going to go. I've got a few things to say on the Corinthian 4 seems really good, the sleeping bag. The Kit Pimp rucksack I'm using, I'm not too sure about that yet. I've had 3 outings on it with weight over 30 kilograms and I'm not too impressed with how it feels on my body. So I'm going to keep trying it. It could be just my lack of fitness at the moment, or just it could be not ergonomical for my body, but I'm not too sure. So anyway, I'm going to close off this video. I hope that I can edit it and put it into a decent video for you at home to watch. That's it. I think that's it. I've really enjoyed myself. This has been Bushcraft 005, and I've done a lot of reading in the woods today, which has been sensational. It's been a lovely experience. So thank you for your time. If you've enjoyed this video, give us a like and subscribe. Comment below on the fat wood if you know a bit more about how to get the best fat wood. I've watched a ton of YouTube videos on it, but like I say, I spent an hour and a half this week, this weekend finding some, and it just didn't work. So in the end, I've had to just resort to other things. So what else? So much to develop and so much to learn. This is a very deep subject. So this bushcraft skill, when you do it genuinely doing it, it's a very, very, very skillful art. So like anything, you got to practice. So this is been my 5th official practice. So thank you for watching. See you later. Lest I be a hypocrite, I've cleaned up after my camp and I'm on my way home. The bag feels substantially lighter. I don't know why.
He just does. So I'm on my trek, on the way to trek home, the 4 mile back home. It's been a lovely camp. I've done a lot of reading, which normally I don't do, but rather than do loads of bushcraft stuff, I just read, which was really nice. And one of the reasons why this channel exists is to encourage people to read, but also take part in activities or get out and do some stuff in nature, explore nature and get out in nature, because it's the ultimate mental health healer. So hopefully, like I said in the last one, this is my final clip. I hope so. But that's it for everybody. That's it for today, and I'll see you all later. Thank you for your time.